Welcome in, Soul Tribe. Oh my goodness, whatever it is that I am feeling into right now, I feel this dread within my bones. It's this constant cycle of breaking up and making up. It's like you have the same argument over and over again in a loop, and it's as though you're pouring every last drop of yourself into a cup that has like a hole in the bottom. Like, logically this isn't healthy, and even your friends see it. Like, your gut is screaming at you, and these little, when you're sleeping at night, trying to get some rest, and it's as though your mind has been haunting you. But it's like you feel like you can't leave. Leaving feels impossible. It feels like there's no escape and no way out. There's this invisible string, this magnetic pull that doesn't make any sense. And it's like you're feeling completely and utterly stuck. First of all, I want you to know you're not imagining this, and you are not weak. You're definitely not crazy for feeling this way. So if you're dealing with this heavy, painful weight of a karmic contract, the karma needs to play out. And today we're going to pull back the curtain. Let's get brutally honest with why you can't break up with this situation. And more importantly, we'll ask Spirit to try and help you find a way to cut the cord out of this stupid situation. So if we haven't met yet, my name is High Priestess Berries, psychic, medium, and divine channeler, hoping to bring you a message. Now, always remember, my messages are candid, unscripted, but they're also timeless. So please, tap into your instincts. Listen to your intuition. If there's anything that I talk about that doesn't make any sense, totally fine. Do not worry about it. This message may not be for you. But if it does resonate, please let me know by liking and sharing your experiences in the comments below. Right off the bat, I like that the cards are lining up with what it is that I was talking about through the introduction. I really feel like there's a big, huge shift going on. You need to start talking about what it is that you're going through, but I feel as though you don't necessarily have a very healthy, supportive group of people that would be able to talk you through whatever it is you're going on. Like, whenever we're in an abusive dynamic, we make the mistake of putting people around us who laugh at us, who make us feel as though not choosing them is a bad choice. Like, does that make any sense? There's something about your masculine energy that needs to come into question. It doesn't matter if you're male, female, or non-binary. It doesn't even matter if you identify as the divine feminine. All of us contain masculine energy. And there's something about your energetic frequency that continues to be, forgive the term, emasculated when you hang out with this karmic toxic. It could be a person, it could be a group of people, and mostly it's an archetype. It's sort of as though you get rid of one person, you think you're done with it, you think you learn the lesson, then you meet somebody brand new. It feels like a brand new slate. So it's this feeling like even if you could break up with the person, another version of them crops up. Like, this energy feels a lot like whack-a-mole. So let's have a look at your current situation. We'll also explore the brutal truth about what it is that you're trying to work your way through. And we'll also see where the universe wants to create a turning point, get you some guidance so that you can get out of this karmic loop. And we'll figure out the final outcome. We'll figure out the path forward. So at the base, before I go to cut, the Lovers, Strength, there's an ask within here, like, you have new love incoming. But if you aren't willing to face the brutal truth of why you keep magnetizing this type of archetype into your life, you're at risk of repeating it. The universe is really trying to get your attention at this time to make sure that you stop magnetizing narcissists into your life, because the most difficult thing, especially if you're a survivor, if you're somebody who's trying to recover from emotional or physical abuse, first of all, I see you, I hear you, and you are with a fellow survivor. But also, we have to recognize the shadow aspect of ourselves. What is it about me that keeps attracting cruel people like this? I believe I am a nice person, so why am I magnetizing cruelty? Because there's a lie within your masculine energy that makes you believe that self-sacrifice is love. After I go to cut the star, the Hanged Man. Now note with these base cards, this is major arcana. Like, in some ways, I feel like you've been frozen in fear, hoping that something better will happen. But I know you're struggling because, on one hand, you know you need to take some actions within your life, but at the same time, you don't know what steps to take. That's why Barry's is here. Father of Swords. Father of Swords, 10 of Wands, 7 of Swords. There's right off the bat, there's a little bit of homework that the universe wants you to, like, even if you want to pause right now before listening to the rest of the reading, I want you to write down the name of a person. Just start with one person that you've had a narcissistic issue with. I'm thinking somebody who's not in your life anymore. Maybe not somebody that you're currently with, but a past person. Write down their name and write down all the ways that they treated you, the way they mistreated you, the things that they said to you, the confusing things that you thought you were getting out of the situation and how things didn't work out. There's something about you taking a little bit more authorship on your story, but because you are traumatized, your masculine energy is subconsciously burying, not necessarily burying the evidence per se, but it's more so the pain is so great that it's like you're afraid of being re-triggered again. Like, I don't blame you. Like, again, you're with a fellow survivor here. What's your current situation? 10 of Swords. Like, you wish this would be over, but it's just a wish. You know this internally. What cards can I use to clarify this today? Okay, we're gonna go with the animal totem. Because this is very feral, subconscious. This is very feral, subconscious energy. Tell me more about this 10 of Swords that the viewer is struggling with in their current situation. Because I know you want this to be over, and I feel like you're, I hate to say it, dying, and that feels almost literal, especially if you're dealing with a lot of health problems from this repetitive cycle. Wow, okay. Okay. King of Swords came back. Death. There we go. It's sort of like you're, on one hand, you feel like the truth could kill you, but on the other hand, you know that the truth will free you. It's sort of like if you could only imagine yourself sort of dying and getting out of this situation, everything would be better. First of all, please do not hurt yourself. You've been hurt enough. I really want to put that out there for the one person who needs to hear that, because unfortunately, if you choose to go that route, you haven't resolved the karma and you'll just magnetize the same problem in your next incarnation. There's an ask within here. Choose life, choose now, and choose to see something about yourself so that you can fall back in love with yourself. What do we have right here? We got the moon, high priestess, so many major arcanas, guys. 8 of Swords. There's an ask within here to really trust yourself. First of all, you've already made the intention to leave. You've already made the intention that you want this to be over. And a lot of this is hidden in the back of your mind. Like, if you're still surrounded with somebody that you know you can't trust them, maybe you're a little bit afraid of them, you know that you got to keep this quiet. But try not to make yourself alienated. Because again, like, I feel like there is actually somebody around you who would be able to talk it out with you, but you have to be super careful because you have a lot of gossipy people that would report back to this masculine. You have a lot of people who they're like lackeys, servants of some kind of karmic feminine energy. And on one hand, don't ignore the warning signs. If there's somebody who is gossipy, and you'll know they're gossipy because they'll talk to you about everybody else's problems. So if they're a gossip, don't give them this information. Those types of people, they thrive on selling your information. Keep that in mind. You're not crazy for thinking that. But you're kind of caught up in a community of people that their survival is hell-bent on having the most information and reporting it to the strongest person. Like, this is brutal. Like, I understand why you're having a very difficult time because this is a narcissistic loop that you got yourself stuck in. Like, what's the brutal truth? Like, if we're talking about, we got King of Swords, what's the brutal truth behind this situation? The Hermit. Okay, I know I keep saying you need to find support, and I keep saying you don't have external support, but there's something with your guides and ancestors that are telling you you can support yourself. In some ways, part of the reason why you keep getting stuck in this karmic loop with this narcissistic, toxic, abusive dynamics, like this is not the first time you've been in this situation in this lifetime or previous lifetimes. There's a reason why I had that very difficult message a little bit earlier. But the Hermit is here to say, you are your best support system. Like you really are. And one of the difficult things about being in the middle of a toxic situation is that you forget who it is that you truly are, all in the name of survival. There's a version of you that has the answers, but you have vilified it subconsciously because these energies have vilified it. In some ways, like I'll say it's not your fault. The narcissists are very insecure people, and they only thrive when you feel insecure as well, because I can tell you're a little bit insecure. Like you want to come out and be yourself. You see the light. You're trying to passively show people that you have a lot of potential, but you're still kind of stuck within your shell. So much nice little turtle energy. You know, we got the Nine of Pentacles right here and the Chariot. Yeah. Your own independence is your way out, Queen of Cups, but it requires you to start rethinking where you want to put your love. The Queen of Cups has the most love to give. And, you know, we got a moose here, and moose are huge. Like, they are fucking behemoths. You have a lot of love to give, and you don't give it to yourself. Like, why? I know it's easier said than done. What do we have? The Empress, little turtles and cows. Like, it's so funny. We got the sun. The lemur, justice. Remember we saw the we saw the death card a little bit earlier, and death is represented by a vulture, but we also have justice, creating balance, creating an environment that is actually healthy for you. Storks and vultures are in the same bird family, apparently. But look how the stork and this lemur, they're just embracing the light. And there's something about you divine feminines out there. You, whoever you are, you're embodying this Empress energy. But you have to do it for yourself. You've had so many people see you as a sacrificial offering. Like there's one energy that would just see you as like meat, who sees you as clothing, who sees you as a provider, but they don't care about you living or dying. Like that, this is the brutal truth. This energy, they see you as a consumable, not as something that's worth caring about. And there's something about stop caring about how they view you. Again, easier said than done, but you're trying so hard to be yourself. Like, you know, you're poking your head even through these cards, and it just starts with one small little step. Just giving yourself permission. Like, hey, I, as High Priestess Berries, give you permission to be yourself. Why? Because you're way more awesome to be around when you're being yourself. It is exhausting, and it becomes confusing when you try to be somebody else, trying to be something pleasing to the outside world. And coming back to yourself is a very difficult journey. What's the guidance? What's the turning point? Oh, I like this. Son of Wands. Like, I'm cautiously optimistic. There's a bit of a warning in here. Yeah, you got a lot of light, but there's an ask within here. Don't use your light to show off. At least not quite yet. You're still surrounded by shallow people who are surface level. And you're at real huge risk right now of people wanting to keep you around because you're a little bit more fun, or wanting to keep you around because you have a little bit more money, or maybe, you know, they feel better because you're laughing. But I don't like the people who are around you, to be brutally honest. I don't feel good about the energies that are attached to you. Because I keep wanting to say, oh, find support in your friends, but then I want to stop and be like, do you actually have any real good friends? And I know a few of you know that you don't, and that's very, very difficult. But there's something about, can you learn how to be your own light and admire your own light? There's something to be said about, can you start looking at yourself through somebody else's eyes and still loving yourself? I know it's a really difficult activity. Can you see yourself through somebody else's eyes and see yourself with the purest form of love? Because that is one activity you can try and utilize today to start learning how to love yourself, because it's a really, really awkward feeling. Because it means that if you're having a difficult time viewing yourself through somebody else's eyes and having that pure love, if you're hearing the criticism, you're hearing the back talk, the chatter, the insecurity, that's karmic feminine energy. And that's not what we're going for. We're trying to find you and who it is that you truly are. We got the Fool. I love it. 9 of Wands. But there's something about being brave enough to just try this activity. Don't even care whose eyes you're trying to see it through. You're just trying to learn how to see yourself outside of yourself. 8 of Cups. There's death. I was talking about that earlier. Death and justice are very linked, especially within this tarot deck. Knight of Pentacles. It's going to feel as though you're going against the grain, because I know there's some there's some kind of limiting belief that you're probably struggling with. Looking for love, like, it's sort of like, well, I tried self-love and that was fine and I was okay with it, but it's really nice when I can get external love too. And maybe you're not wrong. But something about that intention, especially if it came from childhood, it really got lost in translation over the years, especially if you were a bullied child. You could have had the nicest family, but still have been bullied at school, or hell, maybe you were bullied at home and bullied at school. There's a reason why school violence is an issue right now, because children are not allowed to be themselves. Especially, and it becomes more problematic if they can't be themselves at home, they can't be themselves at school, and they can't be themselves with their extracurricular activities. That's a recipe for violence, I'm sorry to say. But you're being asked to kind of go against the grain. Can you love yourself outside of yourself? Because you have the ability to start transforming how you feel about yourself, how you value yourself. Because once you start feeling better about who it is that you truly are, it means that you can start creating a different routine. You can start reestablishing your foundation in many ways, learning to listen to your masculine energy, but also falling in love with your feminine energy as well. Because you're trying to learn how to balance this masculine and feminine paradigm. And in order to do it, you have to embrace the person who you truly are. So we're going to have a look at what the path forward is. But I want to ask, like, if this reading is hitting home for you, if you're really feeling the brutal, honest truth of these words within your heart, like, let me know by liking this video and dropping a comment below, because sometimes just sharing your story is a huge step forward towards your healing. And if you want more guidance to help you take back your power, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. We got the Ace of Cups. Talk about self-love. The only way out of this person, like, the only way to get yourself out of this toxic situation that's keeping you small is to be 100% all for yourself. Narcissists, they are selfish, but what they do is they involve everybody else and they try to conform everybody to an archetype that pleases their trauma. And it's been difficult even for me trying to learn how to recover from abusive dynamics. Like, I noticed I for myself as berries, how I was just mean to my dogs. Like I technically have emotional support pets, and my dogs, it was very difficult because, like, Luna, she passed away not long ago, but she had kidney problems, but I couldn't help her. Even though I was getting therapy, even though I was doing okay financially, there was some kind of blockage that just made me angry and frustrated. And I always felt bad that I couldn't get her the help that she needed so that she could have the correct food, to have the correct health care. And she was always very angry and upset. Like the poor thing was sick all of the time. And even for myself, having to learn how to forgive myself. It's not as though my dog held any grudge against me. Dogs have the lovely karmic contract of loving us unconditionally despite how we treat them. But it's because I couldn't love myself. I felt so unworthy of being myself. I hated who I was, and I felt lost and alone, feeling as though I had to have somebody within my life, that I inadvertently neglected, even the creatures that I love. So that's kind of the shadow aspect of narcissism, where we over dedicate ourselves to pleasing people who won't give us the time of day, and then getting ourselves exhausted because we have nothing left for ourselves, let alone nothing left for the creatures that we love and care about. And I say creature, even if you have a human child, there's still creatures in my brain. Got the Hanged Man. Four of Swords. It's time to get out of this idea that you are the one that needs to self-sacrifice yourself for the colony, sacrifice yourself for the tribe, sacrifice yourself for humanity. That is a distorted feminine energy that keeps the masculine under this illusion that they can't be themselves, that they can't pursue the things that they love and care about. It's a slavery paradigm. And this is even played out within religion too. If you think about it, it's like devotion to God. But if people worship a God that's all about, destroying it's sort of like self-destruction, a self-destructive mentality. Like you'll just destroy yourself to no end thinking that you're pleasing God. Like I hope that makes sense. But we do have to talk about pleasing God. Yeah, this is with the Hierophant. This is this is church. This is something, a habit that's been passed down from multiple generations, whether through parents, society, policy, religion. There's something that was established that made you feel like you had to give up everything in order to be holy, that you had to give up everything in order to have the keys to heaven. And it's just a distorted view of certain spiritual practices, because you can have nothing and have everything. You can live a life of abundance despite the perception of poverty. You can have all the money in the world and still live in poverty. Like there's something about you understanding that your love for yourself is your true value. Ten of Wands. This is knowing what is worth making your own burden and what is not. And there's something about being way smarter. I think I channeled this quite recently when I saw this card. Being way, like, working smarter, not harder. Like, it's okay to bear the burden of things that you find joyful, that you find exciting, the stuff that makes you happy and joyful, to put you into a state of healing. But these wands are stacked upon each other, and it's effortless and it stands strong. In other cards, you'll see characters who are carrying the Ten of Wands, but this one's way smarter. Like, work smarter, not harder. Three of Cups. And you're actually going to start magnetizing people into your life, new friendships, and people that are actually going to be worth celebrating with, because they also embody self-love. Like, you bring your cup to the table and everybody else brings their own cup to the table. We all have bullshit. We all got things that we need to work on and work through. But the pathway forward is just asking you to take care of yourself. Then the people who also embody that sense of self-love can show up and celebrate with you. So before we wrap up today's reading, what is it that the viewer can know and embody to help them anchor in this really powerful message. Damn. Grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith. You are going to be asked to do something that feels completely out of the ballpark. But things that feel familiar for you right now, that is karma. If something feels unfamiliar to you, but it makes your heart shine brighter, follow that. Your heart has been closed for such a long time, but as you take a leap of faith and start accessing your own light, start accessing your own wisdom and recognizing that you are valuable, this will give you the courage to help you thrive and to help you move into the next phase of your life where you have autonomy, you have friendship, you are surrounded by love because you embody love yourself. I'm just saying, wow. Well, whoever it is that you are, damn, I sincerely hope that this helped. If you need any additional support, check out Patreon. Join us on there. There's some fantastic Reiki meditations that are going to help you deal with the energy that's keeping you stuck within the situation. You're also welcome to book a personal tarot reading or a private session with me. Details are in the description below. Otherwise, when I see you guys at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.